This is a party political broadcast by the Labour Party.
It's about a third of Kent that's Reform. And since they've had power, they haven't done anything. There's been no committee meetings. It's all been cancelled. And now they put the council tax up, which they said they weren't going to do. A lot of people are unhappy. I really think they were giddy with the sort of winning. And then all of a sudden, there's reality stepped in. And now I think they're floundering around. They haven't got a grip on anything.
I have stage 4 incurable bowel cancer. I have been given under 100 days to live, but it didn't necessarily have to be like that. I'm a victim of 14 years of Tory austerity, of blatant underfunding of the NHS. When I went to my GP, from that GP contact to my first chemotherapy session was well over 100 days. In that time, my prognosis changed. At first, I was told I'd have a horrible year. I was told things might be okay after that year and I might be able to go and live my life. I'm living under a death sentence now. But one thing I don't have to worry about is the bill. The Reform Party with Nigel Farage would see things differently with an insurance-based system. And I am just grateful that I don't have to worry about how much I'd have to spend, or my family would be saddled with debt after I'm gone.
I don't think that Farage or Reform care anything about young people like myself at all. Nigel Farage saying that they want to drop the minimum wage for young people, they're undermining young families that are struggling, and they're undermining the future of those young people themselves. Reform Party for Nottinghamshire promised that they'd fix the roads, all of the potholes, they'd promised they'd freeze council tax, and just yesterday they announced that council tax is going up by 3.99%. So if that's what they're doing on a local level for the area of Nottinghamshire, then imagine how many Nottinghamshires there are in the UK and how many people that they would fail to deliver for. It genuinely scares me as to what would happen if they got in power. They spent the whole of their campaign saying that the Tories have broken Britain and that change needs to be implemented, but they're literally just copy and pasting the same people that were in power in the Conservatives for the last 14 years. Reforms say that they're patriotic about our flag and about our country, but being British and being patriotic isn't just about waving a flag as high as you can, it's about standing up for the values that that flag stands for. Every time Reform have had the chance to stand up for Britain, they've completely failed.
I'm proud of my flag. I served my flag as a Wren. And I'm really worried. Oh, sorry, I get upset. I'm really worried about how people perceive it. You know, it could go into anarchy. I'm so frightened for my grandchildren. If this is what we're going to be run by, then we're going to go to hell in a handcart. Reform come up with simplistic ideas, but they're like cowboy builders. They will bodge a job. They won't get the foundations done. There are decisions that we're going to make that are not going to make everybody happy. But we have to do that in order to get to the other side.
In my view, the only credible alternative to beat Reform is Labour. The Greens say some nice things, but they're just not serious about solving the problems at hand. It seems like they've just took a leaf from Nigel Farage's book of selling the same unrealistic solutions, when in reality, those solutions are completely unimplementable and unrealistic. I think at the moment things are really tough in this country, and no matter how rich or poor you are, everyone is feeling how difficult life is at the moment in the UK. But I feel like with Labour in power, things are changing and there is a light at the end of the tunnel. But by voting for Reform, you're voting to go back in the tunnel. And that's a really dangerous proposition that this country faces.
I'm obviously quite unlucky, but I'm lucky to live in a system where we have the NHS. I see this Labour government being a force for good with the NHS. I have so many experiences with NHS. I can see things turning a corner. And if I can have any legacy, it would be to say that I've said what I can in the name of the NHS to hope that people have better outcomes than I have.
That was a party political broadcast by the Labour Party.
Pressure on the Prime Minister. He's accused of knowing about Peter Mandelson's links to the paedophile Jeffrey Epstein, but appointing him as US ambassador anyway.